Hello, welcome crafting friends. This is Patty Bennett. I am just so excited about these beautiful cards. I am so excited to show you how beautiful these are. And look how fun this fun fold flap is. I just love this. We are going to be making one of these cards together today. I have lots of tips for you. We are going to look at the new product that I'm using, and I hope that maybe I'll solve a couple of problems for you along the way. Today is Friday, September 15th, if you're watching my live on Facebook. So if you are, please say hello. I already see John and Keisha and Donna. Hello, welcome. It does say 20 other people, so I'm not sure who else is here. If you're watching a replay, that is fabulous as well. I am so happy that you're either catching a replay on Facebook, YouTube, or my blog. I love to craft with you live on Fridays. We have been doing this for, over 3 years now, almost every single Friday, and it is so fun. I love to see those of you who return and visit, like, hi, Jamie, and Jeanne, and Holly, and Kathy. Hey, Kathy, I'm so glad you're here, because it's Kathy's card that inspired me to make these. So, yes, we are going to be thanking Kathy for her contribution today. Anyway, I am so happy that you have joined me, whether you're watching a replay or live. If you're looking for the photos of these cards and a little more instruction, please come back and visit my blog, pattystamps.com, tomorrow, September 16th, and you will be able to pin these to Pinterest, save them, print them, whatever you like to do to remember how to make a card. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 28 years. I have been blogging since, I think, 2008. I really need to look that up someday. But I have been sharing with you nearly every single day since then on my blog and social media. So I do hope you'll take a minute to visit me there if you have not already. Hello to everyone joining live. I see you all. Thank you so much for joining. So glad you're here. So let's talk about how this particular card evolved. So, number one, my first challenge, let's say, was that I loved these new Nested Essentials dies in the Stampin' Up! Catalog, the annual catalog that came out in, I think it was April to demonstrators, May to customers. Loved these two shapes in particular. So there's 4 nested shapes of the banners, 4 of this rounded edged or rounded corner rectangle. And then there's 4 of this shape. I don't even know what this shape is called. I've heard some people calling this the coffin. To me, it's, I don't know, kind of like a elongated diamond. I don't even know what this shape is called. But you've all heard me talk about my wonderful die cutting fairy, Tammy. So I got her a set of these dies and I said, please cut me a whole bunch of the banners and a whole bunch of these rounded rectangles. She did all the sizes for me. You know, I love to keep little packets of these on hand and ready for crafting. Because when I sit down to make customer thank yous for the week, or maybe I'm 2 weeks behind, we're talking like 40 to 80 cards at a time. And so I like to have a whole little packet of these to use. But I did not have her die cut very many of these because I didn't know what I was going to do with them. She cut some for me at my, asking, but I was like, I don't know, this shape just, for whatever reason, was just not speaking to me. So let's fast forward to, a month-ish ago. And Kathy Zaramba, who is here on the video today, she is in my Love to Stamp group. She has signed up with me years ago to be a demonstrator in our Love to Stamp group. She sent me this card. And I was like, what? This is so cool. I absolutely love this. Look at how this flaps like this. So immediately, you know, I'm kind of looking in here and I'm kind of in my mind, I'm dissecting how to make this. I'm like, okay, so you score this one, you tuck it behind, you trim off the top one, and you just tuck it behind this panel. So I was thrilled to receive this card because I thought it was absolutely an amazing way to use this die. So if you have been visiting my blog this week, you saw that a couple days ago, I shared these 3 cards. So this is, hang on, let's not be distracting because goodness knows this beautiful floral paper does not exactly go with these fall cards. So let's look at these for just a minute. So I did these 3 cards with that idea, and I just did exactly what I said, where I scored this, I tucked it behind the inside flap and decorated the front and used the rustic crate bundle, colored them with my Stampin' Blends, used different colors, different papers, loved how they turned out. And then I went a little further. Yesterday's post had these 2, which uses the Pick of the Patch pumpkin stamp set and punch bundle. I did one for just fall or Thanksgiving and one for Halloween. You can do all of that with that bundle because it has both. And then in my mind, I thought, I wonder if you could make a vertical version and do it on the top, because I still wanted to keep using this die, but I had this Courage and Faith stamp set from the annual catalog that has these greetings, which I would call this a vertical greeting. It more so anyway than long and skinny, not so horizontal, more of a vertical, right? I wanted to use these, but I wasn't super, I just didn't know what I would stamp them on exactly. Well, ta-da, this is the perfect idea, right? So I have, I think I did 3. Yes. So these 3 greetings are all from this set in the vertical orientation. The only thing I did a little different is that I didn't ink the biblical reference on a couple of them because it was going to be too wide at the bottom. So I only inked the top part if that's all that was going to fit. But I mean, you know, that's, you can do that or skip that or stamp it a little higher, make it fit. You know, that's up to you. But my point is, I wanted to use these vertical greetings on the vertical shape. I don't know. Does anybody have a name for this shape? Let me just look at the comments for a second. See if anybody commented with what they call this. I'm not seeing anybody offer a name. Okay. Well, if you have a name that you are calling this shape, please let me know because I don't know what to call it. But anyway, so I decided let's try this as a vertical flap. And yes, indeed it works. And it's very fun. And it's something really different, right? I love this. So I did it in a coffin. Yep. Hexagon. I don't really, maybe elongated hexagon. Maybe a coffin. Yeah, I know that's what everybody's saying, but that's, I don't know. Right? It can be a coffin, I guess. So I did 3 different versions. Let me just find my third one over here. Here it is. 3 different versions where the flap comes from the top and flaps over, much like the fall cards that I did horizontal. And then I also thought, well, you could just adapt this. And if you didn't want to go through the steps of actually making it a flap, look, you can just layer them and put them right onto the front of your card. So either way, totally works. But now let's talk about the star of the show. Let's talk about this paper. Oh my goodness. So you may have seen that Stampin' Up! Announced this special release. It released on September 6th, 5 different packs of designer paper, not in the catalog. They won't be showing up again anywhere else. They are just while supplies last. and you will find them in the online exclusive section. So on the Stampin' Up! Online store, when you're shopping with me, it'll say Shopping with Patty Bennett at the top. If you click Menu and you click Online Exclusives, that's where these papers will pop up, along with anything else that's not in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. So this paper, sorry, I'm looking for a spot to put things down. This paper is part of that special release, and it is called Delightful Floral. So here are the supplies I've been using to make these cards: the Delightful Floral and the Nested Essentials, which we've talked about, the Courage and Faith, which has those beautiful vertical greetings. And then I found that these other two stamp sets in my stash, You Mean So Much to Me, from throughout the year, and Knowing You Brings Joy to My Heart from So Sincere. Those two were also options, or they were actually really great stamps to use. So I used those two plus the three from Courage and Faith, and that is what I used to create these cards today. So let's take a look. We used Berry Burst, Parakeet Party, Pretty Peacock, Fresh Freesia, and Bubble Bath. Those were my cardstock and ink colors for the most part. And if you're looking for this list, it is on pattystamps.com today. It's already there. So if you don't want to wait to see all the cards tomorrow, you can go ahead and shop today. It's all there, which is, I think, hopefully helpful to you. Yes, I love this paper, Carolyn. I know. Or Caroline. It's probably Caroline. Yes. Let's take a quick look at the paper. As Stampin' Up! Does fairly often, we have the beautiful florals and leafy patterns on one side. They almost just blend all together, but look how beautiful this paper is. And then on the other side, Stampin' Up! Usually gives us either some kind of a solid or a stripe or a small pattern. So this is very similar in that respect. So you have these beautiful kind of watercolor wash images on one side, and then you have the stunning florals and greenery on the front. So that's what the paper looks like. And now I'll show you how to make this really super easy card. Hi, Cindy from Belgium. Oh my goodness. Polly in North Carolina, Lancaster, California. That's kind of near my old stomping grounds. I grew up in Pasadena. So let's look at how to make this type of card. I'm going to just tell you the super easy way to make it. That would be, you just start with a half a sheet of cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, score it in half at 4 1/4, and then we're going to cut 1 inch off of the front. Really, that's the easiest way to do it. If you wanted to figure out what the actual other measurements are, it would be that it's 7.5 by 5.5. But this is just easy. Cut it at your regular size and then just zoop 1 inch right off there. Okay, so that's really the easiest way to think about making this card. And then you're left with this. So that's your starting point. And then for the designer paper on this front flap of all the cards, again, a super easy dimension. It's simply 3 inches by 5 1/4. Very easy. And that, and actually now this color isn't going to go together, but then it will nest right here and layer perfectly on the front. So let me go ahead and use one of these that's already done, because I didn't plan that well, and that really does not look good together. So we're not going to look at that one anymore. But let's look at these. That's why I had these done for you, to show you some of the beautiful combinations that you might think about doing. So I went ahead and I just got a bunch of these pieces ready. so that I could just do decorating and just start going with all of these. So I'm just going to randomly pick this one, and we will make this card together with the top flap fun fold. So my next step was I just got out those stamp sets that I showed you. Let's see, I guess those are the same. And I just started stamping in this color combo. So I think I mostly used my Berry Burst and Pretty Peacock ink because that seemed to go with everything on the white Nested Essential die. And then I die cut in lots of different colors to go with these cards, the one size bigger. So you could see that these will nest just like that. So if you wanted to just stick that right on the front of your card, that's all you would need to do. You probably noticed that I did some embellishing where I just cut out from the designer paper a flower and maybe a leaf and added that to it. You could do that as well. Here I did it on the top and the bottom. So you have that option if you'd like. But I wanted to show you how to do this top flap on the vertical fold. So we have that part ready. And then for the inside, instead of having a layer that is a 1/4 inch smaller like this, you need to have a piece that is actually the same size. So it's going to fill the entire, see, there's the entire inside. Because of tucking this, we're going to score it, but when you tuck it behind and flap it forward, it can't be down here because then you close this and it won't flap right. So we are going to put a piece in that's the same size, but before we do, we take our colored, we'll call it a coffin, whatever it is, right? Whatever you want to call this, this piece, and we're going to score it. And I usually put this end somewhere just shy of 4 inches. There really isn't any magical number. It's whatever you would like to do here. Absolutely whatever works for you. And you score it. So that gives us this little flap. See this little flap? That's what you want. I find it easier to score it here than just try to fold it. And then this is what I do with it. I hold my white piece that's going on top. I hold them together. I turn it over and I just grab a pencil and I just make a little line there. And then that's where I cut this one. So now only the colored part is going to tuck under the insert and the white part will show on the front. So let's put that together. The one thing I did notice is that sometimes, see how those are not cut exactly perfectly. So I am going to trim off just that little, I don't even know if that's a 32nd of an inch. That's like such a little teeny piece right there. I think that'll work. So let's see. Yeah, so now they're the same size and nothing sticks out. So I take this piece and I use, sorry for my reach, I didn't have this handy. I use my Stampin' Seal Plus for this. You could also use tear and tape. Just anything that's a strong adhesive, I think, is a good plan. And I put the adhesive there, just on the flap, And then I'm going to tuck it behind. No magical spot here either, just kind of wherever you would like it to be. Okay, so it's tucked behind there. And then this is going to nest right back inside because we already measured that just to make sure. Okay, and that now it flaps right to the front. And then put this one on. Oops, wait, little tiny bit higher. I need to just bring it closer and look a little more straight down on it. There we go. It's kind of hard. I know most of us are used to crafting with our head kind of right over what we're doing. And when you're doing a video, it's really hard to stick your whole head under the camera. So that's why I needed to just pull it just a tiny bit closer. And then I had some scraps from this beautiful Delightful Floral paper. And I think, what do you think about that on the inside? I kind of like that. Maybe, wait, let's see what the greenery looks like. The greenery's pretty, well, I don't know. I'm going to go with the flowers. So what you could do is inside here, you could trim this down. You could use maybe a cute little scallop die cut, or I've kind of gone back to the tearing thing. Remember 20 years ago when everybody tore edges on absolutely everything? I don't know why I'm doing it again. I really don't. But I am. And I just kind of like it. Just kind of going back to the beginnings of my crafting days. And so there you go. That is all there is to that top flap. Fun fold. What do you think? It's just so super easy. So if you wanted to add some little pieces that you've fussy cut out from your scraps, you can do that. Here I just put one at the bottom. And here we have just a couple little of the flowers at the top. You can do whatever you'd like with that. Thank you, Susan. Thanks, Cindy. Evie or Evie says, how do we order and receive catalogs? I don't have a demonstrator. Thank you for asking. So if you go to pattystamps.com, there are a couple of spots on there that say catalog, and you'll find a catalog request button. You can also type this and then do a / catalog, and that will also take you straight to the form. And if you are in the US and you don't have a demonstrator, then I would be happy to send you one. Kathy, you're not on the replay. You're on live. We are live right now. Oh, I know. This paper is so gorgeous, isn't it? I don't think you can make a bad card with this paper. Oh my goodness. So that's the top fold version. And then if you're just tuning in and if you don't want to go through that trouble, then just nest those two dies right onto the front of your card. And don't go away because I have a bonus project for you. But fun, right? Aren't they pretty? These colors are lovely. The paper is amazing. I just think it's a win-win. You just can't go wrong with this. Thank you, Robin. She says, I love your thought process. You come up with things I never would think of. Well, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. Oh, the die, Lynn, is the Nested Essentials dies. So if you want to watch the replay, I was telling the whole story of why we're using this. And you can listen to the replay. I won't bore everybody with the story again. So let's see. Let me just catch up and see if there were any questions. Yeah, the paper is stunning. I agree. It's so beautiful. Oh, thanks, Marcy. You were answering some questions. Thank you so much. Yes, Kathy, this paper is just stunning, just beautiful. So let me show you my bonus. Oh, Mary says, FYI, a synonym for coffin or casket is urn. I kind of like that better than a coffin. Oh, which size did I use? So these cards use, so let's take off the biggest one. I did not use that. These cards use the 2 middle sizes. But if you watched the beginning and you saw my inspiration to start using these, Kathy's card uses the largest and the next to the largest. You can use whatever works for you. I really like the largest and the next to the largest, but I also like the 2 one step down as well. So, it doesn't matter, but that's what I used. Let's see. Oh my goodness, 6:25 a.m. in New Zealand, Anne. Welcome. This designer paper is one of the new online exclusives. I was showing this earlier. It is called Delightful Floral, and all of this information is on pattystamps.com today. It is part of the online exclusive limited release. And I did want to show you these 2 cards. Use the same paper. They were on my blog several days ago. I think it might have been Monday of this week, but sorry, the days are blurring together and I'm forgetting. But anyway, I have not yet used these punches. I purchased them when the annual catalog came out and I had not used them. And I decided to give it a little try. I really didn't know how they nested or exactly. I hadn't paid much attention. So I started using this paper that we were using today. And you can see here that I just started randomly punching out both of the designs. And you can use the front and the back. So you can flip them over, use either side. And I decided to try to do these quilted looking patterns. After figuring out how they nested together and what colors and patterns looked good, I glued them onto my white cardstock, and then hopefully you can see I used the embossing folders on them. This one is from the 3D embossing folder set of 3 folders. This one is from Countryside Blossoms, and I really thought that these looked very much like a quilt, especially if you saw the stack of quilts I have from my mom, my grandma, and my great-grandma and my great-aunts. These really are that color palette from, I mean, some of them are probably from 100 years ago, right? 100 years, 80 years. But this spoke to me. I really liked this palette and especially this little print. So that's what I did with these. That's another fun use for this paper. And if you had not seen my blog post, I thought that maybe this would be some fun inspiration for you to just think about different ways to use this beautiful paper. So friends, I am not going to be here for the next 2 weeks. I am co-hosting a crafting cruise to New England to hopefully see fall colors and thankfully to miss the hurricane that's traveling up there this weekend. And I will do my best to try to do a live video from the cruise ship, but no promises because the signal can be really spotty. So I can't promise you, but I'm going to try. I would love to show you. Kirsten and I have designed 36 projects for everyone to make. We have 92 crafters cruising with us. We have more cruisers because there are some family members and friends going, but we have 92 crafters and we have 36 projects for them to make on this 10-day cruise. I'd love to show you a bunch of those projects live. So I will do my best to do a live from the ship, but no, I'm not going to promise a time and place because on Fridays we will not be available. So it would probably be a different time and date than a Friday, but I'm going to try. And I know a lot of you have asked about these crafting cruises. 2024 has sold out. It's been sold out for a few months now. We have not booked 2025. So if you're interested, your best bet is to be on my newsletter list. And the easiest way to do that is pattystamps.com/newsletter. And you'll find my newsletter subscription there if you would like to be in the know. You can also check my blog or subscribe to my blog posts each day, and you will be the first to know when we release information about our 2025 cruise. So there you have that. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, Cheryl. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, Evie, we did an Alaska cruise last year. We did the West Coast last year. And then this year we're doing East Coast, so we're kind of alternating. Thank you. So glad you all enjoyed this, everybody. You are all so sweet. Does anybody have questions about this paper, the online exclusives, the design, the nested essentials, how to order, how to find the cards, any of that? Please let me know. I can hang out for a few minutes. And if not, I will let you go and hope that you have a fabulous weekend. Anybody have questions? Lori, the 2024 cruise is Caribbean, but it is full. We do have a waiting list, but we don't anticipate having very many openings. Thanks, Robin. I will look at that. Oh, can't find the inked and tiled. Let me show you. Hang on. I just need to move a few things to scoot my catalog out of this pile. So in the annual catalog on the page with all the punches, it's right up here at the top. These are the inked and tiled punch pack. So if you just want the punches, it's 161167. Or if you want the bundle, you can see the stamp set that goes with it on 95. There's also a new stamp set in the holiday catalog that goes with this. All righty. Does that help, Lynn? Page 147. Well, thank you. I hope that answers everybody's questions. I hope that you have a fabulous weekend. I hope you get some crafting time in, and I will see you back on, let's see, what day will that be? The 6th, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the 6th, on September 6th, when we get back for our regular Friday crafting videos. So thanks again, everyone, and I will see you soon.